ever heard of the canary in the coal mine? You know what they were for back in the old days? They were to detect gas, not the kind Bree's thinking about, in the coal mine, because they had very small lungs, and they would croak over in their cage and die as a warning to the miners. That's what they were for. Have you ever heard of Jay Walker? Here's his picture. He was a very famous, even to this day, canary in the coal mine back during the Great Depression, the days of FDR, when people had no money and all that jazz. He was just happy to have a job. Now normally it would be a problem to make very low wages and just be able to put money on the table, but he was fine, so it wasn't a problem at all. He lived in West Virginia. Now you may wonder, why would a canary have a last name? Jay Walker. Well, he was raised by Wally Walker, who was the most famous canary breeder in North Carolina for the coal mines. Wally Walker had a reputation that also lives to this day. You remember Wally Walker, don't you? Absolutely, because you came up with the name. So one of these fine days, back during the Depression, Jay and his team went down into the coal mine. Oh yeah, Jay had a little miner's hat just like everybody else with a light on it. Down they went, down the shaft into the coal mine, dark and dreary. Jay was in his little cage, set up on a ledge to warn the coal miners in case anything happened with the gas level. There was a problem, kind of not really a problem. Jay did not like to be in the cage. So he took his little pecker, which is really his beak. He took his little pecker and he I knew he'd love that. And so he opened the bird cage and started walking around. Why, you may ask? He was a jaywalker. Raised by Wally Walker. So anyway, now normally this would be a problem, but with Jay it wasn't a problem because he never flew away. He just walked around and was very calm. He would also sing nice songs, usually spiritual songs. Let me try it. Yeah, very nice and soothing so the miners could do their mining thing and be nice and safe and calm and cool and collected. Anyway, so he would be doing this, just walking around, not flapping his wings or anything, and he would just discover what was there. Well, one day, this particular day, as a matter of fact, with his little hat on, he went down into an abandoned mine shaft. Didn't really go down there, just looked into it, because he was a little afraid of what you could find down there, right? He saw something red down in that mine shaft, and it looked like a ruby. Now, Jay is like, this is awesome. It's during the Great Depression. I'm basically broke, and I just found a ruby. This is like winning Mega Millions, right? This is some real money. He's so happy. He's dreaming of things to do, just like when we buy a lottery ticket and it doesn't come true. Anyway, he looked a little bit more, peered into it. He saw another one. There were two together, 2 rubies. This is like winning Powerball, right? Yeah. Super rich. He was so happy. So he started going very slowly down into this mine shaft to get his 2 rubies, and then he noticed something. They were shifting. These weren't rubies, these were eyeballs. The first thing he thought about was the legend of Ruby Rex. Now, not a Tyrannosaurus Rex, we're in West Virginia. They always thought it was some kind of a grizzly bar. Okay? Well, it started going back and forth and started getting bigger. Now, normally it wouldn't be a problem if your ruby gets bigger, but when they're going back and forth and getting closer, that's a problem. Well, this caused quite the brouhaha. He started jumping up and down and flapping his wings and stomping. He tweeted like crazy. I can't even try. I tried to do this kind of a frantic tweet, but I can't even do it. It was so nutty. What do you think the miners were doing?
Mining.
They were working, they were mining, they didn't even pay any attention to him. So what did he do? He's a smart little bird. He got out his little pecker, or his beak, got back into his cage, and flopped over. He jerked a little bit, and he just flopped over, looking dead as a doornail. Well, that got the miners' attention. They left all their tools, and they just headed out of that mine as fast as they could. They left Jay behind, and now normally that wouldn't be a problem, because he's dead, right? He's dead, but he wasn't dead. So he doesn't hear any noise, opens one eye. He's like, I can't believe these guys left me. So in a huff, he marches down, or rather up the mine shaft, up outside. The miners were so happy to see him, surprised that he was alive, so he tried to tell them what was going on. He, and he was doing this wild chirping thing, which I can't even attempt. Again, another brouhaha. Anyway, they figured out it was Ruby Rex. Well, what'd they do? They sealed the mine, filled it with poisonous gas, and then Ruby Rex went down to the depths of Hades and is there forevermore. Not Haiti, but Hades. Okay? So he was never more to be seen. So, Therefore, Jay Walker was the town hero of Wheeling, West Virginia. What did they do for Jay? Well, they did lots of things. They erected a statue of him. If you go to the Wheeling, West Virginia City Hall to this day, there's a statue, much like there is of Wes's dad. There's a statue of Jay in City Hall in Wheeling, West Virginia. They gave him a key to the city, and they had the biggest ticker tape parade ever been seen in that city. It was wonderful. It's kind of funny because it was during the Great Depression, and when Jay first saw the bar, he thought of the words of the president. Are we okay on time?
5 to 7.
Oh, because I see 15 to 20.
Oh, okay.
Where were you at now?
Right now, 7:30.
I'm done.